Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by for a little fun in my kitchen today. It is summertime and we're going to be making a traditional summertime dessert, but we're going to make it in an untraditional way. Now everyone knows summertime is the time for s'mores, right? We have campfires and all that fun stuff going on, and s'mores are a summertime favorite. We are going to be making s'mores brownies. Now the first time I had these, I was surprised at how delicious they were. I couldn't imagine a brownie with a graham cracker crust, but it was absolutely amazing. Now we're going to kick ours up just a notch because we're going to be using these bad boys. These are my homemade marshmallows. Now, if you've never made homemade marshmallows, now's the time to start. Once you make your own, you'll never go back. You can use store-bought, of course, but if you want to take it up a notch, you definitely need homemade ones. We start with a delicious graham cracker crust on the bottom. Our middle layer is going to be a chewy, fudgy brownie center. And then on top, we're going to melt our delicious marshmallows. Now to get your toasty marshmallow part on top, you can either broil it under the broiler, or you could also use a handheld kitchen torch. It will do the same thing. So either method is up to you. Today I am going to be using my oven and we're going to use the broil method. So we are going to start by making our crust. In a food processor, I blended up 12 graham crackers and 2 tablespoons of sugar until they were a fine crumb consistency. Then I pulsed in the butter until all the crumbs were evenly coated. Then you want to pour your graham cracker mixture into your prepared pan and press down on the crumbs. I just used my fingers. You could also use a spatula or the bottom of a cup to press your crust into the bottom of your pan. You just want to make sure that it's nice and even and that your crust goes all the way to the edges. We're going to pop it into a preheated 350-degree oven and we're going to bake for about 10 to 15 minutes until it starts to turn golden brown. We're going to set it aside to cool, and then we're ready to make the brownie part. All right, so while our crust is cooling, we're going to make our fudgy brownie center. So we're going to start with 2 large eggs, and we just want to put those in a bowl and just give them a quick whisk. Break up the yolk. To that, we are going to add 1 cup of sugar, a half a cup of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Going to give us some delicious flavor. A teaspoon or so of vanilla extract. I'm going to give that a whisk. All right, once that's fully incorporated, then we are going to add a half of a cup of flour, a half of a cup of cocoa powder. I'm using Dutch processed, but you can use whatever you have on hand. Just regular cocoa powder is fine too. In this bowl, I have a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of baking powder. And we're just going to gently whisk that together. We don't want to overmix them, but you do want to mix it enough that all of the dry ingredients are incorporated into your wet ingredients. I'm going to make sure there's no dry flour or cocoa powder on the bottom. I'm going to scrape off my whisk. Then we're going to add in a half a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You could use bittersweet, you could use dark chocolate, you could use mixed milk chocolate, whatever you prefer, but we're going to gently fold those in. Now we're going to pour our brownie batter on top of our slightly cooled graham cracker crust. So fudgy, really delicious. It's going to be nice and thick. Then you want to spread out the brownie batter on top of your crust so that it's nice and even. Make sure you get it all the way to the edges so that when you cut your brownies, you can see all 3 layers. So now we're going to bake this in our 350-degree oven for 30 to 40 minutes until the center is set and no longer jiggly. You do want to watch them though. We don't want to over bake our brownies because we want them to be nice and fudgy in the middle. All right, guys, my brownies are nice and set in the middle. You can tell that they are no longer jiggly and they kind of spring back when you touch them. So make sure you watch them closely because we want it to stay nice and fudgy. So now we're ready for the fun part. This is my favorite part. So we're gonna use our delicious marshmallows. Mine are kind of mini size, but you could use regular size if you want to. And you just wanna randomly sprinkle them on the top of your brownie. Keep in mind that they will spread out as they are put under the broiler and they warm up. They will spread out. So you don't have to completely cover the top of the brownie. All right, once you feel you have enough marshmallows on top to your liking, you're gonna put them in your oven under the broiler. I keep it in the center of the oven. You don't want your parchment paper to burn, so you don't want it too close to the heating element. So put it in the oven for 1 to 2 minutes. Keep a close eye on it. You want your marshmallows to be really melted, and you want that beautiful golden crust on top, just like you would roast your marshmallows over at a campfire. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. Does that not look amazing? I'm gonna bring you in close and show you what it looks like after you cut it. Okay guys, we are all done. You wanna know the hardest part of making these is? Waiting to eat one. You do wanna wait at least 30 minutes before cutting them. The marshmallows get so gooey and you wanna give your brownie enough time to set. But I wanted to show you how yummy. Look at that. Decadent, ooey gooey marshmallows, beautiful graham cracker crust, ooey gooey chocolate brownie center. So delicious. And yes, the truth of the matter is they are just as messy to eat as the real thing, making a s'more around a campfire. So I hope you'll give this recipe a try. Make sure you try your hand at making your own homemade marshmallows. It's so easy to do and they are so delicious. I promise you, you will never go back to store-bought once you make your own. I will leave a link in the description box below and an iCard up here for you to find that recipe. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. If you have any comments or questions, leave them for me in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.